If you ignore this message, you won't just move on. You will circle back, not to the same place, but to the same pain wearing a different face. You'll meet it again in another season, another relationship, another disappointment, and you'll wonder why it feels so familiar. This is not coincidence. This is not bad luck. This is not God punishing you. This is a warning wrapped in mercy, because God does not allow lessons to disappear just because we refuse to learn them. What you don't confront now will confront you later, but later it hurts more. And if this video has found you, it's because you are standing at a moment where repeating the same pain is optional, but only if you listen. You've been here before. Maybe not exactly like this, but close enough that your spirit feels tired in a way rest can't fix. You told yourself last time would be the last time. The last time you trusted the wrong voice. The last time you ignored the red flags. The last time you stayed silent when God was whispering, "This isn't it." And yet here you are again, feeling that same tightness in your chest, that same heaviness in your prayers, that same confusion that comes when your heart wants one thing and your spirit knows another. This is not because you are weak. It's because the lesson is still open. God is patient, but he is also precise. He does not rush you, but he will repeat the test. Not to shame you, but to free you. Because what keeps hurting you is not the situation itself. It's the pattern underneath it. And until the pattern is broken, the pain will keep finding you. You keep asking God to remove the pain, but God is asking you to recognize the door you keep walking through. There is a reason certain cycles keep returning in your life, the same emotional wounds, the same type of people, the same disappointments that start with hope and end with regret. Heaven is not confused about this. God sees what you keep tolerating. He sees what you keep excusing. He sees the moments when your discernment spoke, but your desire was louder. And still, he hasn't left you. Instead, he sent this moment to slow you down before you repeat what nearly broke you last time. Pain has a strange way of becoming familiar. We say we hate it, but sometimes we choose what we recognize over what we don't. We stay in what hurts because it feels predictable. We return to what wounded us because it feels known. And the enemy knows this. He doesn't need to destroy you with something new. He just needs to convince you that the old pain is manageable. But God is saying today, manageable pain is still bondage. There are things God has already spoken to you about, but you delayed obedience. Not because you didn't hear him, but because listening would require letting go. Letting go of a relationship. Letting go of a mindset. Letting go of a version of yourself that survives by repeating the same story. And every time you delay, the lesson grows heavier. Not harsher, just heavier. Because grace doesn't disappear, but consequences mature. You keep praying for peace while choosing chaos. You keep asking God for healing while reopening wounds he already closed. You keep saying, "God, why does this keep happening to me?" When heaven is asking, "Why do you keep returning to what I already delivered you from?" This is not condemnation. This is clarity. And clarity is love. Some pain comes from the enemy. Some pain comes from people. But recurring pain often comes from disobedience we disguised as patience, from fear we disguised as wisdom, from comfort we disguised as faith. God is not silent right now. He is being ignored. And ignoring him doesn't make his voice disappear. It just makes the lesson repeat. Think about it honestly. How many times has God warned you before the fall? How many times did you feel unsettled but moved forward anyway? How many times did you say, "This time will be different," without becoming different yourself? God does not change the outcome when we refuse to change the approach. He changes the volume. What he once whispered, he eventually allows life to shout. And still, this message is proof that he is giving you another chance. Not another cycle, but another choice. You are not trapped. You are standing at a fork in the road. One path feels familiar. It looks like what you've always chosen. It leads to what you already know. The other path feels uncomfortable, quiet, and uncertain, but it leads away from the pain you keep reliving. God is asking you to stop romanticizing what he rescued you from. Stop calling it love when it cost you peace. Stop calling it growth when it drained your joy. Stop calling it faith when it required you to ignore his voice. What God removes, he removes for a reason. And what you go back to, you give permission to wound you again. There is a version of you that keeps surviving, and a version of you God is trying to heal. The surviving version knows how to endure pain. The healed version knows how to walk away from it. And until you choose healing over familiarity, survival will feel like strength, even though it's just endurance. If you ignore this moment, life will replay the lesson with different characters. Same emotions, same disappointment. Same late-night prayers asking God to fix what you were warned about early on. But if you listen now, truly listen, this can be the last time you bleed from the same wound. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for surrender. Surrender of your need to control outcomes. Surrender of your attachment to what feels safe but isn't. Surrender of your fear of the unknown. Because what you don't know yet may be safer than what you keep returning to. This is the season where obedience matters more than emotion, where discernment matters more than desire, where walking away matters more than being understood. You don't need another sign. This message is the interruption. This is God saying, pause. Look, choose differently. You are not cursed. You are not stuck. You are not late. But you are being tested. Not to see if you can endure pain again, but to see if you will finally refuse it. The pain was a teacher, not a home. And lessons are meant to end. If you listen, this cycle breaks here. If you ignore it, the pain returns dressed as opportunity, dressed as love, dressed as familiarity. But now, you know, and knowing changes responsibility. So before you move forward, ask yourself honestly, am I choosing this because God is leading me or because it feels familiar? Am I staying because it's right? Or because I'm afraid of what comes next? Am I listening? Or am I hoping God will bless what he already warned me about? This is not a threat. This is mercy, a moment of grace before repetition, a quiet rescue before another wound. And if this message stirred something deep inside you, it's because your spirit recognizes truth even when your heart hesitates. Choose differently this time. Let this be the last chapter of this pain. God is ready to lead you forward, but he will not drag you away from what you keep choosing. The decision is in your hands, and the next cycle depends on it.